80 months Pogu, hope you're doing well. Miss playing League with you xQcl.
Okay, chat. Guys, listen, chat. I'm gonna hold up. Let me mute up.
$27-month xQcl.
Beyond Scared Straight is easily one of the most controversial shows in history. Parents of troubled youth pay for their children to tour the inside of a prison or county jail so they can be exposed to the dark reality of life behind bars. When they arrive, they meet with real inmates who strike fear into them with threats, with the goal being to prevent today's teenagers from becoming tomorrow's prisoners. But their exposure therapy techniques are definitely questionable.
What the wrong with you, dog? Chill out. You are starting in the wrong way.
This Kool-Aid, we put this on just like you. Lick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid. Just stick it in there. Now take your finger, just do this to the bottom one. Come here. I kiss you, you orange flavor mother. Stop. You ready? You hard, man. You hard. You want to do hard? There you go. You want to do? Try me. Try me. Yeah, try me. I want you to try me. I want you to try me. Try.
Now, there's no doubt that the show is entertaining and has given us some pretty hilarious moments over the years. However, our entertainment is at the expense of children's suffering. And the craziest part is, it has been proven on multiple occasions that Scared Straight doesn't work. In fact, it might actually increase their chances of becoming lifelong criminals. A lot of people don't realize that Scared Straight is not just a television show on A&E. It's a program that has been implemented all over the United States for the past 50 years. And the reason it got so popular was based on just one alleged successful experiment. Scared Straight was the name of a television documentary released in 1978, produced by Arnold Shapiro. It was critically acclaimed, won an Academy Award, and even won an Emmy.
See, they're gonna put lipstick on your lips, earrings in your ear, and have you swishing your ass up and down these tears, hustling cigarettes for your man.
What did I say? What did I say, mother? You're here for 2 hours. You belong to us for 2 hours.
The film documented youth offenders who visited Rahway State Prison in New Jersey. They met with inmates with the goal of being so scared of going to prison that they went on to live a straight or crime-free life. The documentary claimed that 80 to 90% of the 8,000 children who visited Rahway's program would go on to remain law-abiding citizens afterwards. The popularity and surprisingly positive results led to more than 30 states rapidly implementing the program. No further questions were asked. Jails and prisons all over the country saw one documentary and thought they had a solution to all of their youth offender problems. The program's validity was immediately questioned by juvenile delinquency professionals, but that didn't stop it from becoming popular.
Chat. Yes. I don't like being fully honest with chat because sometimes I get mad about something. It'll last 5 minutes and I'm good, right? I'm actually kind of mauled in any like a minute. Like listen, I really get like this. Like if I stream it out, I guess I'm like this like once a year, but these days a bit more. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm actually mauling. I need like a little bit of time. Otherwise I'm gonna be mauled. So I'm so sorry.
The original documentary was followed by Scared Straight, Another Story in 1980, also produced by Arnold Shapiro. This one was just a dramatic film. The subjects were actors who did scripted reenactments of their petty crimes, which led them to entering the Scared Straight program, being screamed at, and then feeling reformed after a couple overnights in the prison. Then in 1987, Scared Straight 10 years later aired.
I'll be your host for Scared Straight 10 years later. A fascinating update on what's happened to the kids and the convicts filmed a decade ago.
What I steal, I need, and I want. It's embarrassing. 10 years ago, yeah, I did that. I did that to look good. Now the difference is I want to look good, but I like to pay for what I take.
We got to see the original 1978 crew, and they all explained how much the program changed their life for the better. The second half of the documentary introduced a new group of troubled teenagers. After their trip to Rahway State Prison, the documentary claimed that all 17 of the youth offenders were crime-free just 3 months after their visit. Then MTV connected with Shapiro for another sequel, Scared Straight 99. This documentary was potentially the most raw and shocking of them all. The prisoners were threatening these kids to levels we had never seen before. One inmate made a kid hold his pocket as he walked around the cell.
As a matter of fact, hold on to this mother. Hold on to my and you walk with me, mother.
This was highly regarded as one of the best out of the series, and people still genuinely believe this was an effective form of therapy for youth offenders, which makes sense when you consider the societal standard during this time period. Mental health issues that are widely known today had not been vigorously studied. Mental health as a whole wasn't taken as seriously as it is now. Plus, it was a lot more common for parents to use tough love and physical punishment to discipline their children. These programs were seen as an extremely cheap and convenient solution to a very complex problem that is juvenile delinquency. But where Scared Straight received renowned media attention was when they released their 20 years later special. They claimed that of the 17 original 1978 children, only one of them became a career criminal. The 95% success rate shocked news publications. Scared Straight was a miracle solution. They used 17 people's stories for 20 years to justify this entire program around the United States. But the popular A&E series you all know and love didn't come until 2011 and was produced by the same man, Arnold Shapiro. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player really, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Underdog keeps everything super simple with their intuitive website and their mobile app. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use code PatrickCC and get your deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is available in many states across the US. Check this map to see if you are in one of the eligible states. Again, download the Underdog Fantasy app, use code PatrickCC, and get those picks in. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy. So by the time most of us became aware of Scared Straight, it had already been a well-seasoned program all over the United States for 30 plus years. Beyond Scared Straight was a TV show that documented the experiences of troubled children as they embarked on a forced tour of a maximum security prison or jail. During the tours, inmates and officers would go to the greatest lengths, screaming, locking them in cells, putting lipstick on them, roughing them up, anything they could do to shock the children and make them terrified of going to prison in hopes that it would steer them clear of a life of crime.
What's up? You like to fight, homie? That's what you like to do, huh? You little bitch. You's a bitch, homie. You's a Pop-Tart. I see right through you, homie.
Stop! You better not stop. You better.
You hard, man. You hard. You want to go?
There you go. You want to try me?
Should you smirk at me?
He says he don't know. You can't speak up, can you?
Are you
Why can't you
smirking at
speak
me?
up?
Fact, bitch, you hold this. You drop it, I'll smack out of you. I don't give a about going.
This was the most staggering and horrific Scared Straight program we had ever seen, and people loved it. The show's premiere alone attracted a staggering 3.7 million viewers, making it the most watched original series debut in the network's history. The undeniable success of Beyond Scared Straight led them to producing 83 episodes across 9 seasons, spanning from 2011 until 2015. But the most eye-opening realization about this show is that the Scared Straight program was proven by the federal government not to work. Since the release of the original film, many justice institutions and criminal prevention professionals have thoroughly studied the effects of the program to determine if it actually works. Surprisingly, numerous studies have shown that the Scared Straight method can actually do more harm than good. The most significant study was conducted by the US Department of Justice after the release of the original film. They examined the outcomes of 9 controlled trials conducted from 1967 to 1992. This involved over 900 children, with the average age of 15 to 17, who participated in Scared Straight-like programs in 8 different states. Also, each study was conducted by a different research team. Every one of these studies also had a control group that did not attend a Scared Straight program. So they were comparing youth offenders who went to Scared Straight versus youth offenders who didn't attend one, and measured their likeliness to become a reoffender. The study found no evidence to support the effectiveness of Scared Straight in similar programs. In fact, all analysis showed that involvement in these programs increased measures of crime and delinquency. In nearly every one of the 9 studies, the group who went to Scared Straight had a higher rate of reoffense than the group who didn't go. After this comprehensive study was published, many others were conducted with different test subjects, different age groups, and different crimes. Many of the studies would produce very similar results. In 1997, University of Maryland researchers completed a report for Congress on the evidence for various crime prevention strategies. The researchers had no problem listing Scared Straight as one of the programs that doesn't work. To make things worse, these programs could potentially violate federal law. In 2002, which was 9 years before the first A&E episode aired, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention in Washington informed all states that Scared Straight programs or similar programs may violate the separation requirement of the JJDP Act. According to the Act, it is mandatory that juvenile offenders and non-offenders should not be detained or confined in any institution where they may have sight or sound contact with adult offenders. In short, it's illegal to have kids in jail with adults, which makes this clip even harder to watch.
A terrified 9-year-old boy dangled like a raw piece of meat in front of a pack of prisoners. His crime: stealing pocket change from his mom and lying.
I think we can all agree that traumatizing a child to this degree for